Isn't that true, that through life, wouldn't it be wonderful that we could write our own introduction to everything that we do? If we were a baby, we could write our own introduction throughout life. But life isn't quite like that, is it? Life is actually a bit more complicated and problematic than it should be. Life is a lot more inundated. We are in a high technological world. We live in a highly adaptable world, but we are inundated with information. We are overwhelmed with information. In fact, it's rather like living our life through a maze. We see a maze, we see life, we try to meander through it, but we get stuck a lot of times. What we are trying to find is our pathway through that maze. But I just want to ask you, what is the best way to get through a maze? Anyone, hands up anyone. What's the best way to get from where you are now to where you want to be? What's the best way to get through a maze? Anyone here know? Start walking, great. Yeah, very good.
Helicopter view.
Well, that is brilliant. That is really brilliant. And that's exactly the answer I'm actually looking for.
What did Nicholas say?
And I'm not going to tell you because I want some more answers first. So, one step at a time. Excellent. How do we get through this maze? What is the best way to get through this maze? Yes?
Leave a trail in front so then you don't make the same mistake again.
Excellent. And just as long as there's no birds flying above you. But it's like who slew the Minotaur? What was his name? Theseus? Icarus? No, Icarus went flying to the sun. But he left his golden thread, didn't he, to go through the maze to slay him, and so he can work back. Yes?
Instead of seeing it as a maze, see it as amazing.
Very good. Very good. Life is amazing. But to many people, we come across many dead ends, many twisted curves, and we don't actually end up where we want to go. So what Nicholas said, the best way to look at getting through a maze is actually to get up and look down on the maze, isn't it? And Helicopter said, get a helicopter. Well, either that. So then you can actually map your path through that maze. And so what I'm about to talk to you today is how to give you that lift so that you can then look down on life and look down and take a step back, as it were, and map your way through to where you want to go and who you want to be. Because, anyone recognise this face? Paul. It's actually, is anyone else? The Cheshire Cat. In Alice, when Alice went through the rabbit hole. And she went down and she came, after a while, she came across the Cheshire Cat and she said, please tell me which way I should go. Which direction should I take? And the Cheshire Cat said to her, well, it all depends on where you want to go. She said, well, I don't know where. And he says, well, then it doesn't matter which direction you take. And so I think that's an analogy for life as well, is we must know, we have to find out where we want to go. How do we navigate through that maze? It's direction, isn't it? We need direction. But most of us spend our life, including myself, and I'm going to tell you a story about when I was very directionless, but most of us spend a life without direction, lost, not making our way through that maze. I used to live here, right there, Piccadilly Circus. Does anyone recognise this map, by the way? This is London. Not my hometown, but I consider it my home. London was a saviour for me in many aspects of my life. But I used to live here, near Piccadilly Circus. It was amazing. I looked out my window and there was the John Gielgud Theatre. I looked out there was Mamma Mia. It was just a wonderful place to live. But I bring this up because one day in 2000, I was reading the local underground newspaper, and it had just come out, it had just been released. It was called The Metro. It's been around now for nearly 20 years, but it was quite new at the time. And they had done a survey of people, and I was reading the survey. And the survey asked one simple question: would you rather be dead or at work? Would you rather be dead or at work? And guess what 55% of respondents said? That they'd rather be dead.